Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to Personal Leadership Mastery with Anesu, where we help you to harness your true personal leadership, which allows you to tap, realize, and maximize your potential in order for you to become the best version of yourself, in order for you to live an effective life. Today, we have a special guest on the show. His name is Nikon Gormley. Welcome to the show, Nikon.
Thanks for having me, Anesu.
It's
It's a
a
pleasure.
real it's a real pleasure to have you on the show. I've been waiting for this interview for quite a long time because I've been checking your track record and I've been seeing some of the great works that you've been doing. I mean, it's so mind blowing. I'm just going to read a comment, just a quick one, more like
Mhm.
a review that I got from your page, which I think is really outstanding. So the first one, I'll read two of them. The first one, it says, this one, I think this one is the best. It says, with humility and grace, Nikon is like a walking permission slip to anyone who seeks to connect with their true self, the big self, and they
Mm,
specify it with a capital S. And
right.
I honestly think that is really amazing, right? And the second one says, Nikon has fresh and positive perspectives that can turn your greatest failure into an opportunity of success. And he has wisdom to help you turn your impossible dreams into tangible and even more beautiful realities. And I think that is just so amazing, especially this one of a walking permission slip to help you to connect with your true self, which is really mainly going to be the center of our conversation today. But
Mm,
before we dive into the conversation, I just want to acknowledge you of some of the work that you've done. I was also reading on your page of some of the clients that you've helped, especially one of the marksmen from the Thai national team, whom you have
mhm,
helped from, was ranked, honestly, from the 83rd position in the world to
mm,
becoming the 41st position
yes.
within a year. And
Yeah.
I think that progress right there is just mind blowing. And there is also another that I was also reading of some of the high performance business strategists that have literally helped to achieve even their
Mm,
first 10,000 US dollars in their corporations. And I
mm,
think that is just amazing. Of course, it has to do with a lot of high performance, but I think it's the core. It has to do with what you stand for the most, which is connecting people to their inner genius. What's your conviction
mm,
when it comes to human potential? You've been studying human potential for the past 15 years. So, what's
mhm.
your conviction really when it comes to human potential?
What's my conviction?
Yeah,
Well, firstly, thank you for the lovely introduction, having me on your show. The two people you mentioned, they themselves are incredibly lovely and talented people.
yeah,
Um, so, conviction about human potential,
yeah.
to me, I reckon most people think that our potential is something we have to do to achieve it. Like it's something you have to achieve. Like when you achieve your potential, you get a certificate or something or like a medal. And to
Yeah.
me, what I have come to see for myself is that your potential is something you realize in
Mm,
yourself and you more see. And there's really I tell people there's nothing to do, but there's everything to see. It's
wow.
more like learning to recognize. And I think when you learn to recognize your potential, you get to tap into it. I think the metaphor that comes to mind is um, the first person who realized that you could use the wind to push your boat in a sailboat. You know what I mean? Like you just
That's a
like
powerful
okay, you had
analogy.
to figure out the sails and put up the pole and stuff, but the rest was not about the person. You just had to catch the wind. Yeah.
And you said that it's about realization, which means potential is already inside of you. That inner genius already exists. It's not determined by outside things, but it's already inside of you. You just have to discover it.
Right, right. It's like yeah, it really is discovering your own potential. And it's kind of a it's almost like a funny trick because I think most of the literature out there is the habits to success or the mindsets to success. And in my work it really is about doing less. And like the lady who wrote that, the comment about the big S is, you can only, to me, it's easier to discover your big self or your true potential when you're not as busy in your mind and you're not trying so hard to get it. You know what I mean? It's more
Yeah.
about doing less. And another mentor said, something very powerful. She said, you can't work harder at doing less.
Mm. But how then now do you help somebody to tap into their potential to connect with the inner genius? How can somebody do that? How do you help them to go around that, basing it on some of the accomplishments that you have done through helping other people? How did you help them to connect and realize that inner genius that is themselves?
Right. That's a great question. So to me, there are a few things. I guess what I do firstly with my client is learning how to listen to themselves with a quiet mind.
Mm.
Meaning, I think most of us are so busy reacting to all our different thoughts, and we get so distracted by fear, insecurity, and doubt. But when they learn how to listen to themselves with a quiet mind, it's almost like a radio, like they're tuning into a different signal rather than the noise.
Yeah.
Like they're tuning into the right signal, and that signal is where the potential lies. And a lot of people think like, oh, when I tap into my potential, I become superhuman and I run faster and I automatically make more money, or I automatically raise my world rankings. What to me, what it's actually like is once you start living in that space, your behavior changes. You start doing things differently. You start thinking about things differently. And that change often leads to the big results that people celebrate, that people talk
Oh,
about. Like with the sharpshooter who raised her world rankings. For her, she just when she really tapped into her potential and she wasn't so worried about playing the game and she wasn't so worried about winning, she got back to enjoying the game.
yeah.
And that enjoyment, that genuine enjoyment of the game led her to perform better. And she wasn't so afraid of the big stages and the World Cups. And she just liked playing the game. And she remembered her mission, which was that she wanted to go to the Olympics to honor her late father. And so she really got into that. And that really helped to just push her forward. And like the lady who wrote the Big Self comment, she went on to become an author and she published a book and she's really well known in her space. And for her, it's like she gave herself permission to follow that inner voice and that
Mm.
deeper wisdom that led
Mm.
her to these results. So to me, number one is to slow down. I think most of us are going way too fast.
Yeah.
Um, we're going way too fast in our thinking. Number two is to really listen to ourselves with our quiet mind. And I think number three would be to to respect our divine nature. To me, our divine nature is like the way you're made, like who designed us, like the way your heart beats. Like you don't have to project manage your heart, you don't have to
Yeah.
project manage your eyes, or um how do you know you're hungry? You just know you're hungry. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
who designed that? Who designed that system
You know,
that would
nature.
give you the biomechanical software to tell your brain that, you know what, it's time to eat food because we need energy.
Yeah.
Like that's so cool. Like that's the coolest app of all. I think when you learn to respect your divine nature, you you get more out of it.
Yeah.
You stop trying so hard to manage it and you start to just live it. Let's see what else I could tell you about tapping into one's nature. I think that's it. It's really about doing less, not more.